Hello, Sharon. How's your day going? Everything going well so far?
So far, so good, yeah. How about you?
I'm doing great, thanks. I have to say, I really admire your new car. As expected from a Mercedes-Benz, right? I'm quite passionate about cars, and I've always wanted to try driving one. It feels like a dream come true. The handling is incredibly smooth, and it glides along the road effortlessly, just like a bird. I feel so free.
Huh? What are you talking about? What exactly are you doing right now? You're driving a Benz? Why?
Oh, don't be silly. There's no need to play dumb, Sharon. I'm talking about your Benz. Don't tell me you forgot about your own car?
My Benz?
Yes, I'm driving it right now. What do you think about that?
Wait a minute. What? Are you telling me you've taken our car without permission? Seriously?
Oh, don't phrase it like that. Are you accusing me of being a thief? How rude. You shouldn't make such statements about people.
Well, what else am I supposed to think?
Listen, I confirmed with you what I was doing, right? So it's not stealing because the owner is aware.
I don't understand your reasoning. Aren't you supposed to get someone's consent before taking their belongings? Besides, where did you even get the car from?
I got it from your place. Every time I pass by your house on my way to the store, I see that Benz parked outside. Aren't you showing off by displaying your car for everyone in town to see? Honestly, it's not cool. By the way, don't our husbands earn almost the same salary? How did you manage to afford a Mercedes Benz? Are you pretending to be rich now?
You shouldn't make assumptions about other people's income, Suzanne. I don't appreciate that.
Anyway, since I wanted to borrow your car, I've been waiting for an opportunity, and today seemed perfect.
What? So you planned this in advance? That's highly illegal. Not to mention, not very well thought out on your part. Do you really think you can take a car without permission and not face any consequences?
Like I said, it's not stealing. I informed you about what I was doing, didn't I? Would a thief do that? Come on, don't treat me like a common criminal. And besides, I'm just borrowing it. It's not stealing. The car will be back in front of your house before you know it.
Whether you intend to return it later or not doesn't matter. The fact is you took someone else's property without permission. That's stealing. You could get in serious trouble for this.
Oh, Sharon, don't be so dramatic. Don't worry. I'm just taking it for a spin. Like I said, I've always wanted to drive a Benz. How many opportunities in my life will I get to drive a Mercedes Benz? So what's the problem? I'm just taking it around the block for a moment. Nothing bad will happen.
I'm surprised you can say all this with a straight face. Even young children know not to take other people's things, you know? And you're a grown woman, so what's going on, exactly? Do you understand what a crime is, Suzanne?
Oh, don't make such a fuss. This is nothing like that. Don't worry, I'll return it without a scratch when I'm done.
That's not really the point.
And like I said, I checked in with you, didn't I? So you can't call it stealing. I may be many things, but I'm not a thief. At least now you know where your car is. Please make an excuse to your husband if he asks about it, okay? Since we're friends, I know you'll cover for me, right?
You cannot request permission after you've already taken something. Trust me, that defense wouldn't hold up in court. In any case, my husband is currently at work, so he is unaware of the situation. By the way, how did you manage to steal it in the first place?
I happened to be passing by when I saw your husband park the car and bring groceries into your house. He left the door wide open, so I took the opportunity and drove off.
My husband. I see.
He'll be in for a surprise when he realizes his car is missing. But that's what happens when you leave your luxury car with its doors wide open, isn't it? Maybe he'll learn his lesson now, huh?
We'll see about that. But I understand why you're interested in the car. After all, it is a Mercedes-Benz. Anyone would be tempted to drive it if given the chance. I hope you refrain from such abnormal behavior from now on, although I doubt it.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Anyway, how do you like the car? Is it enjoyable to drive?
Aren't you strangely calm about this?
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, your car was just stolen, right? Most people in your situation would freak out. How can you remain so composed?
Well, it's not my car, is it?
Oh, right, because it belongs to your husband.
Something like that.
Isn't your husband worried about his missing car?
Who knows?
Well, you're quite open-minded about all of this. You'll cover for me, won't you?
You're quite optimistic about this situation.
Of course I am. Having a positive attitude is essential in this world. And I've always been a glass half full kind of person.
Sure, let's go with that. Anyway, how's the Benz? Are you enjoying yourself?
Yeah, definitely. It's so luxurious. By the way, since you're asking about driving it, I assume you've never ridden in it yourself?
I haven't, no.
I see. I suppose it was too much for you and your husband to handle. If you're not using it, I might as well take it home with me, right? I could use a new car. Yeah, let's do that. From now on, the Mercedes-Benz is mine.
Getting a little carried away, don't you think? Remember, that car belongs to someone else. It might have slipped your mind. But taking someone else's property without permission is still illegal. Are you thinking clearly, Suzanne?
Don't be silly, I know stealing is wrong. I'm not a child. But I did inform you of my intentions, right? Technically, it's not stealing if I have their permission. So it's fine. I'll take it home with me if you don't stop me. And no one can accuse me of not having permission.
Is that so? Does that mean I can have your car too? As long as I tell you after I've taken it?
Of course not. That's my car. My possessions are mine, and they belong to me.
Seems a bit inconsistent, don't you think?
That's just my philosophy, which you might not understand.
I think many people would struggle to understand it. But anyway, do as you please. It's not my car, so I don't mind.
I was involved in an accident.
Oh, no. Is the car okay?
Who cares about the car? Shouldn't you be concerned about my well-being?
To be honest, I don't really care. You seem fine since you're able to message me. Did you harm anyone else?
How can you be so rude? Aren't you worried about me?
Not particularly, but you didn't involve anyone else in this mess, did you? And is the car in good condition?
What do you mean by that? Not particularly. You should be concerned about me. I just had a car accident, you know. The car is completely damaged, though. This is all your fault.
Wow. You wrecked the car? That's tough. You're in trouble, Suzanne.
Why do you care so much about the car? You're heartless. What about what I've been through? I don't have any visible injuries, but my neck hurts. And during the crash, I dropped my phone and it broke. I can still send messages, but the screen is cracked.
Hold on a minute. Did you send all those messages while driving?
Of course. Did you think I would pull over just to send a few messages?
Jesus Christ, Suzanne. Texting while driving a stolen car? Do you realize how dangerous and illegal that is?
It's not a stolen car. It's my car now, we agreed on it. So, I didn't do anything illegal, got it?
You're really addicted to your phone, huh? That's probably why your neck hurts.
Of course not. Don't joke around. My neck hurts from the crash, obviously. Anyway, you'll have to cover my medical bills.
Huh? Why on earth would I do that? I have no responsibility in this whatsoever.
What? So, someone gets hurt, and you just walk away without taking responsibility.
Well, I wasn't the one who crashed the car, was I? You stole the car and crashed it. Because you were looking at your phone instead of the road. I'm just relieved you didn't harm anyone.
Unbelievable. So, you're not accepting any responsibility for this? Don't think you can talk your way out of this one, Sharon.
Do you want to blame me when I've been at home this whole time? Now that's funny.
It's not funny. I'm dead serious about this. You have to pay me at least $10,000 for this. I had an accident while driving your car. Transfer me the money right now. Take responsibility for your actions.
First of all, that's not even my car. It belongs to my neighbor.
Huh? What?
You must have mistaken our car for our neighbor's car. Our garages are right next to each other.
Huh? That can't be right. It's your neighbor's Benz. You've got to be kidding me.
Nope. He's a wealthy celebrity who owns a Mercedes-Benz.
You're lying, right? You're just trying to scare me, you nasty woman. I don't believe a word of this nonsense. Oh, so you conveniently live next to a famous celebrity. And your garages are close? I don't buy it. It must be your car. It has to be.
Why would you think that? I never said it was my car, did I? You assumed it was and took off with it. And besides, as you mentioned, our husbands make almost the same salary. So you understand how impossible it would be for us to afford a car like that. We'd have to sell our house.
Well, I guess that's true. You must be right.
You accepted that quite easily. I'm surprised, honestly.
Anyway, if it wasn't your car, why didn't you tell me sooner?
Don't try to blame me. There's no point in lashing out.
But we've been talking all this time. You could have honestly told me at any point that it wasn't your car.
I did tell you it wasn't my car. You can scroll back up and check if you want. But anyway, you said it yourself, didn't you? It's not stealing if you have the owner's permission. Maybe you should write down the things you say so that you don't forget them?
I might have said something like that, but it doesn't matter now.
What do you mean? If you truly believe what you said, then why don't you go to my neighbor's house and tell him you took his car? Maybe your philosophy will resonate with him, if you're lucky.
Don't be ridiculous. I couldn't possibly do something like that.
And why not? Why is it acceptable for you to take my belongings but not anyone else's?
Because we're friends, right? I've always treated you well, haven't I? I've always been there for you.
I don't remember that. Even if it were true, it wouldn't change the situation at hand. A crime remains a crime.
But Sharon, the car is completely damaged. I won't be able to afford the repairs. It's a luxury car, a Benz. What should I do? Please, I'm going crazy here. The police might arrive any moment. What should I tell them? Will you talk to them on my behalf? How about saying you were the one driving?
You must be delusional if you think I'll help you out of this.
Don't be so heartless. You have to assist me in this situation. You're a good person, right? I know you are. You won't abandon me in my time of need. How can you even call us friends if you won't support me in my hour of need?
Because I'm not involved in this mess. You brought this upon yourself. You're the one who stole the car. You'll have to find a solution on your own. Or as you said, take responsibility for your actions.
Stop repeating my own words and come help me. Listen, this isn't my fault, okay? How was I supposed to know that I would end up crashing a car?
By the way, the guy who lives next door is a world-famous celebrity. He appears on TV frequently and everything. So I'm sure he can easily replace the Benz without any trouble.
Oh, really? Then maybe he won't be so mad. That's fortunate. Perhaps if I go to his house now and explain what happened, he won't be angry.
Sure, I don't think he'd be upset. If he himself had crashed the car, that is.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
I mean, if he had taken his own car for a drive and had an accident, he would have no problem replacing the car effortlessly. That's the kind of money we're talking about here. But when his car gets stolen, well, that's a different story.
Then why did you even bother telling me? How does that information help me? I'm still in deep trouble, right?
Yes, of course you are. You committed a serious crime. You might even face legal action. And I have no doubt this guy can afford the best lawyers money can buy. If I were in your shoes, I'd be panicking right now. Regardless of his wealth, theft is still theft. There are no mitigating circumstances that can save you from this situation.
Wait a minute, I have an idea. Sharon, would you say you have a good relationship with your wealthy neighbor? Why don't you speak to him on my behalf? Make up something to get me out of this. Be a friend.
I don't think that's going to happen. I'm not particularly close to him. Besides, I wouldn't consider us friends just because our kids go to the same school. So even if I wanted to, I doubt I could help you in this situation.
Don't be like that. You can't leave me hanging like this. Don't you feel any sympathy for me?
Sympathy for you? Weren't you the one demanding $10,000 from me a few minutes ago? And now you're begging for my help? Get a grip, Suzanne. Why would I assist you? Not in a million years.
You're so mean. I was just panicking earlier, you know? I didn't mean any of it. You shouldn't take those things so seriously. I got carried away because I had the chance to drive a Mercedes Benz. And I said things I didn't mean, okay. So what? Does that make me a criminal?
No, you're a criminal because you stole a car. Not to mention you were texting while driving that stolen car. You're fortunate you weren't killed. You can't blame it on getting carried away. You're still a thief.
Please don't call me a thief or criminal. I'm extremely stressed out right now. You can't abandon me in this situation. I'm in serious trouble. Help me, please? I'm begging you. Stealing a car is a serious offense. If the police arrest me, my family will find out what I've done. How will I face them?
Did you really think no one would find out about this in the first place? Anyway, I suppose I should let you go. You better go talk to my neighbor as soon as possible. And make that Benz yours before the police catch you, right? And don't worry, I'm sure you'll have no trouble convincing the judge and jury with your little philosophy. Goodbye now.
Sharon, wait. Are you still there? Sharon, please help me.
The police promptly arrived at the accident scene and discovered Suzanne. Subsequently, they learned about her act of stealing the car from my neighbor and causing the accident due to texting while driving. Naturally, she was apprehended and found guilty of theft, along with various other offenses. Regrettably for her, her belief that the car rightfully belonged to her didn't go over well. The expenses for repairing the car alone surpassed $100,000. And my neighbor insisted that she bear the cost of replacing it. Naturally, the entire incident fell outside the jurisdiction of the insurance company, and they were unable to offer assistance. Suzanne found herself compelled to borrow money to evade imprisonment. Adding to her troubles, her husband divorced her. And my neighbor was absolutely livid with her. Eventually, Suzanne decided to flee the town in order to evade her mounting debts. I sincerely hope she will abstain from engaging in such reckless behavior in the future. But I must admit, I have my doubts.